Hey guys, so see if we can relate with this thing that I just caught. So it's not just a thought; it's, it's sometimes the realization that comes, and with the rise of intelligence, the realization come, and in that realization, we realize few things, and then when the realization, the moments of realization proceed, when they go, they become a part of the past. Then we no more feel the same, the experience that we had. And then we think of it as a memory, right? So just like that, I had a realization that I thought to share because if we don't share, I mean, if I don't share it now, then it will happen like every thought, every another thought, and the research showcase that we think so many thoughts, hundreds and lakhs of thoughts. It happens in one day. We don't even realize, even in the sleep, we think. Some thoughts are so minor that we don't even realize. Some thoughts are such that we think inside the thought while thinking. So it's a complicated process to explain the nature of thought. But instead of explaining the nature, some thoughts are such that which provide us the knowledge that not even the things or the books or teachers or other types of resources can provide us. So thoughts are sometimes very necessary in the process of learning. So I thought to share this thought because this is one among such thoughts which direct our life, which is that much important. So this thought is like we operating this body as like an individual or a friend, as like a machine or as like a system, and we are the operator. And it actually is not just a thought, it's actually working like it. We are operating this body. Look at this hand. I'm moving that hand. I cannot even say I'm moving this hand. It's a happening which is going on with the continuity of existence. So it's a continuous process. And in that process, we cannot map the past because past is already gone. We cannot map the future because future is continuously coming. So the stage where we are, the balance of our life is in this current moment. And which is the current moment? Is this current moment or this one or this updated one? Which one? Right. So we cannot really catch it. We cannot really store it. We cannot really say this one is it because in the moment, in the very moment when we said this one, that moment is gone. Right. So we cannot even define anything, and once we define, that becomes a part of past. So that's gone. That is not updated knowledge because to the updated existence, it is still undefined and need new calculations for the new coming idea which is proceeding in front of us. For every new idea, for every new visual, we need new calculation and new conclusion. So the previous conclusion, we cannot say that is the ultimate one because new one is unexpected. What will happen in the next moment? We don't know. I mean, I can say I'm going to eat in 10 minutes. I'm going to have breakfast. It is 7:51. 6:51 a.m. and correct at 7 a.m. I will start my breakfast. I can say it. But even in that, there are things which are not defined, which are simply undefined. Do you know what I mean? It's like calculating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, So you can see the rhythm in it. And rhythm is based on calculations. So even if I'm not calculating, the calculation was going on. So every music is based on calculations. There is a great book named Nada Yoga, which tells about rhythm and calculations, rhythm and logic, rhythm which is associated with music. It is somehow connected with the rhythm of existence. So, can you imagine the calculations which are going on without calculation? I'm not saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and after that, but still there is calculation going on. I cannot say 1000 words in 1 second, but in next 10 days it is possible. So there you can see, when it comes to 10 days and when it comes to 1 second, the broadness of thought, the broadness of measurement increases. So whether we are calculating or not, something is being calculated, something is being defined as a possibility and something as impossible, right? So we can define possibilities on whole another level, and this thing is being used in quantum computing, because there is uncertainty at one point. It's not just yes and no. We cannot just say yes or no. There is something in between which is giving reason, a whole bunch of reason. And this is a big thing. Uncertainty is a big thing, because it is a state of existence where there is not exact yes or exact no. It is something in between which is not defined, which points towards the infinity. And as long as we calculate, as long as we know, as per our knowledge, we don't know how big the infinity is. We are mere small calculators in this long journey of infinity and its counting. We came inside while the calculation was going on, and we are going to go. I cannot even say it with surety, because I'm just one portion of that entire infinity. And while I am saying entire infinity, that cannot be the definition of infinity, right? If you know what I'm talking about, you can at least relate with me, right? Because the infinity that we are talking about is the limited grasp of infinity, limited grasp, which is limited by limited knowledge that we bear. The knowledge that we bear through this brain, which is based on the evolution of a few thousand years or few lakhs years, right? That's what it is. But the existence, the age of existence is far more than us. The existence which created us. Don't you think the knowledge it bears, the existence bears, is far more than us and our knowledge? Because the existence is creating our knowledge, and the mechanism which is making us feel the knowledge, experience the knowledge. So it's hard to talk about it. It's hard to define it all, but still we try to define, we try to communicate, we try to solve things because that's our nature, that's how we grow. And I think communicating on ground level where we can create systems which help us evolve while offering us all a sustainable future. That kind of systems are much necessary, because now is the time where we can calculate enough, I mean basic, at least basic data about the state of earth. Like we can calculate the amount of global warming on some scale. We cannot calculate entirely, but we know that passing this level will be destructive for our planet. So as of now, at least we got to know this, and now we can create systems which will help us reduce such problems, right? Which are going to arise in coming future. So I think we should use our intelligence to create such solutions, right? To create such systems which will solve the problems. I think that would be a better use of this intelligence. And in the end, as undefined as it is, it remains not defined. But in that, we still live, we are alive, and I'm talking with you, and you are listening to me. So, even if we are not successful in calculating the entirety of existence, we are still here communicating, right? And I think as we are continuing with the communication, I think we can evolve in this bondage. I think we can evolve in this relationship and bring it on such a level where the positive possibilities of collaboration can flourish, and the result of this collaboration, the fruits of this collaboration will be celebrated by coming generations or by the entire humanity. Let's give the world a reason to celebrate all together. There are so many things that we can do. We have got this perspective of Earth based on the knowledge we have, based on the situation the humans have created in the past humans which lived on Earth before us, the generation that was living here. So this system is a correlation of different entities, and in that, when we enter into a phase of calculating it with logics, we get to know that Whether we know or don't know the exact answer, still we try to define it as if we know what the answer is. And as long as we know the answer in the uncertainty, which is still proceeding in the ongoing nature of existence, when we feel it all is going on, as like it is going on now, undefined, we don't know what exactly it is, and still we proceed with a perspective to solve the problems that we are going through. And the scale of our problems is either individual, or if it rises, then we see the problems of society. If it's still rising, we start to notice the problems of the community, and it grows. At one point, it is based on our calculating system, because when I say something, the ultimately that I see is based on my knowledge, right? There can exist anything, something more than that, but my knowledge is limited. So the limit that is setting the ultimate is not the reflection. It can be the reflection of the ultimate that I feel, but it cannot be the reflection of the real ultimate, because the real ultimate is creating us. So it is the force which is applied on us, and it is reflecting in a way through us. But the source of that force cannot be stored inside this oneness, which is defined by my calculations. You getting me what I'm saying? This calculating system, which is here defining you, is a limited calculating system. It is not so high, it is not so powerful to collect the or process or analyze the entire data of existence, right? So it's like that. So not as of now, but as much as I know, as much as I calculate, I cannot say I know the infinity as of now, because the infinity is a subject of the powerful system that creates itself and regulates itself and reflects itself as well. So it's even the attempt to explain it is a failure in a way. It's just the beauty, creativity of existence that we all try to explain it, right? So it goes on, and in that, the only thing I realize that we can do is on the basis of mathematics and patterns, we can create algorithms, rhythms, patterns, which ultimately create systems. That's what my idea is. And psychology is something that connects us on on a level which regulates the law. Psychology is something, is a set of rules which are accepted naturally by our being. So, using psychology, using these systems, we can create a broad system which is so much powerful that it will somehow bring the entirety of existence at one place, and on a human level, it will unite us all, unites our knowledge, and it will reflect our knowledge through one single source. Actually, this was the idea of a scientist which was working on artificial intelligence. I'm not the first one who is thinking about this idea to generate one system that reflects our consciousness. And then they keep on working on patterns and creating systems, and then they created the brain, large language models, LLMs. Do you know why the languages are so much important? It's because languages bear intricate patterns. The patterns are such that they reflect the long, long history of our mapping mechanism. Because based on knowledge of language, we perceive the world. This is what the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis is. It is also called as the lingual relativity. It's a really interesting theory. It's hard to accept in the start, but in the long run, that's what it is. It's like opening our mind and what's going on inside that. We can open our mind, we can cut through and see what's going on. But when it comes to mind, we need to study languages. That's what it is. Because mind is not a physical thing. It's not a tangible thing, tangible asset. It's actually economics term. But anyways, so to study mind, we need to focus on languages. And as we focus on languages, we get to know the deeper insights regarding the languages, and then we get to know what the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis is and what the guy is trying to talk. The guy is trying to say that there is connection in the minds, and there is a mind that connects all other minds, like mine, like yours. Think of it. Think of what I'm trying to talk about. I'm trying to point towards the oneness of existence, that I am and you are not different. It's just that the language that you know and the language that I know is somehow connecting us, but the language that both of us, you and me, don't know, that is there, but we are not aware of it. And just because we are not aware of it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And just like that, there are so many languages, which means just because we know our language doesn't mean that we are the only that exist. We exist, we feel that we exist because we know this language. But those who know that language, they know they exist. So our existence, the knower of this existence, is trapped inside this language. And because as he is trapped inside this language, he only knows this language system, and so he cannot communicate with other systems which are going on simultaneously. And other entities which are using other languages, they cannot communicate with us because they know their system. So at this moment, when we realize this thing, we cannot say that we are the only who exist, or we are the only who exist this way. The only reason that we define ourselves as like this, as like I am doing, through the use of language or visuals or patterns or sounds. This is just one use. This is just one creativity of creation. There can exist many. There are many, but which are out of our control, out of our knowledge, which are out of our proceeding, our ongoing, is a reflection of the nature of our being. But the calculating systems which are calculating in different ways, they are the reflection of their calculating systems. A good example for this is computer scripts. For one software, we use JavaScript. For another work, specific works, we use Python. Right? Java is for advanced software. Python, comparatively, is for basic ones. So can you imagine? The Python have no idea about what the Java is because it is the proceeding version of Python. Just like that, we don't know what the next humans are going to be because they are the proceeding versions of our being. But think of it that based on the system, based on the need, based on the circumstances, the Python was created on the same ongoing path, on the same ongoing need with updated times. The JavaScript was created just like that. The urges that we bear, the desires that we bear, even the previous people, previous generation that lived on earth, they too felt the same. And based on their feeling, they moved around, they lived their life. And in the ongoing nature, they created the result as like us all. We are the result of their doing. So their inner urges, their aspirations, their goals are still inside us. We are continuing through it. That is the force that is continuing through us, and it will continue to exist even in the next generations. But with times, we will find new updates, we will find new circumstances, we will find updated environments, and this will go on. This will go on like this, and we cannot really say that only evolution will happen. There is chances that again the reverse post process can go on, but this will go on. The continuity will go on. Even if the continuity stops, that will be the continuity, right? Even if the entire existence is stop. Still, even if no one is calculating, still the pause is in itself a calculation, because the pause is a gap which is being filled. And as we can say the calculation is going on, once the gap is gone, then the new calculation starts. This is how the cycles keep on repeating itself, where even the gap counts, right? So this is how it all proceeds. I think thank you for today. Thank you for your time. It was a very deep topic that we discussed. By the discussion, I don't really mean anything like you should understand anything out of it. It is just like it is the expression of the self, and it is just the nature of exploration that we all, in one or another way, proceed inside. It is such that with this nature we go on, we live in this nature. So this karma goes on. This karma continues because we are living inside those laws, which are, maybe we can call it psychological, emotional, physical, or any sort of. So this was that. So I hope, I do not hope much, but yeah, thank you for your time. Take care. Bye.